What's up, you guys? This is Jay2 back with another video. And it was a great day of basketball, man, in the playoffs. As we all know, it is really interesting to say the least, as we see many games today were blowouts. Pretty much every game today was a blowout. The Magic, they win. They come back from the Cavs in the second half and win that game. Shout out to Franz Wagner for playing a really great game in that second half, leading the Magic to a win. And not only that, but the Thunder pretty much demoralized the Pelicans. Lou Dort was just locking up Brandon Ingram, and they just played a great overall game. And many guys contributed. Josh Giddey played well. Shea played well. As I said before, Lou Dort, even though Chet didn't really have the greatest game offensively speaking, he still contributed in many ways and made great defensive plays. And not only that, but Jalen Williams also had a pretty great game. And the Thunder win in a dominant margin. Then we go on to the Celtics and the Heat game. And this is a very interesting series because the Heat won the last game. I haven't really been able to watch this series as much as the other series. But in this game today, man, the Celtics, they were just clicking from the start of the game. They were just hitting their threes, hitting their shots, and they just made the right adjustments to help them get this win. Not really the best game of the day at all. And the last game, the Lakers versus Nuggets, the most anticipated game out of all of these games. And the Lakers, well, there's hope. To say the least, there's a little tiny percent of hope for the Lakers, man, because they actually come out and they get a win. The first time they beat the Nuggets in a very long time. Nuggets could have had 12 straight wins against the Lakers. But the Lakers, they cut that. And LeBron, he doesn't get swept back-to-back playoff years, which is something that we all know would have not necessarily diminished his legacy, because the man's legacy is pretty much already set in stone. But it definitely wouldn't have helped his case, especially this year and what happened previously in the last game. And that was a pretty bad game for the Lakers. Yet again, they lead the third quarter, blow the lead. Pretty much every game, of this series so far, the Lakers, they have the lead in some way, shape, or form. They just blow it. Game 2, in my opinion, was like really their best chance. This series could have been tied. Really, if Jamal Murray doesn't hit that shot on Anthony Davis, this series could have been 2-2 right now. But execution, man, that's what it's all about in the playoffs. You really have to execute. And the game's just different. It's not like the regular season where, it's just up and kind of down at times. Nah, this is the playoffs. This is the real deal every game. And, I remember LeBron James saying in one of the podcast episodes with JJ Redick that, one possession, one play can just mess up the entire game. They can really ruin your chances. And that has happened a lot in this series for the Lakers. And that one turnover in that game, I believe that was game 2 with D'Angelo Russell. Obviously, the Lakers blowing leads in all of these games, it has all really contributed to them where they are still now. They're 3-1. The series is still, not really in their favor. No team has ever come back from 3-0. And the Lakers, they could make history, but let's be real. This Denver Nuggets team is just well coached. They're really talented. They just have all the pieces that you want, especially their superstar player in Jokic, who had a great game again with a triple-double. Played very well, but everybody else on the Nuggets really, other than Michael Porter Jr., didn't really play the best. They're missing wide-open threes and opportunities that really could have helped them in this game come back and win the game, but they really didn't execute like how they normally would, and Murray really didn't play to that level. He's kind of struggled at times in this series for the Lakers, but when his team needs him, for the most part, he comes through, as we already seen happen in Game 2. But for the Lakers, I feel like what's really the main difference for them in comparison into Game 1, 2, and 3 of this series is that in this game, Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell both actually played very well for the Lakers. There's already a lot of adversity with D'Angelo Russell, and especially what happened in Game 3, him scoring 0 points. Pretty much just terrible from start to finish of the game. He comes out and he actually plays good, and the reality is, who else are you really going to go to on the Lakers on this team anyway? You can't really rely on anybody else other than D'Angelo Russell because, well, he's still one of your best players. He's proven this season regardless of what has happened, he is their third best player on this team, and he played really well tonight. Alongside Austin Reeves, who had a quiet 22 points, but he also played very well. And when all these guys show up with LeBron and Anthony Davis, the Lakers actually have a better odd at winning. But like I said, the playoffs, it's a different battle. A lot of it is based on momentum, which team can go on a run, and that can really just change the whole trajectory of these games, and we've seen it throughout the entire playoffs. This was the first game that the Lakers really didn't blow their lead. They didn't blow the chances. And that was really surprising, but each and every single time it looked like the Nuggets, they were going to come back in the game. The Lakers, they make a shot. They actually executed, because they will go on scoring droughts in some of these games and not score for 4 or 5 minutes. And this just gave all the Nuggets the momentum to go on a run and actually win that game. But that did not happen today. So it's going to definitely be interesting to see what happens in Game 5. I believe that the Nuggets will still finish off the series in 5. this, which is a desperate win for the Lakers. They needed to win this game. They had to win this game. It was no choice. It was do or die. For the Nuggets, they can afford to lose a game. Even though, they will want to close it out, they can still afford to lose a game. And it's going to be really hard for any team, especially the Lakers, to beat a Nuggets team like this, 3 more times to win the series. LeBron's already done it one time in his career against one of the greatest teams of all time in the Golden State Warriors. But, he's not the same LeBron that he was then and now. And that's a really hard task to do, to consistently play well against probably one of the most talented basketball players of this generation, and Nikola Jokic on top of that. But another fact that I wanted to point out before I end this video is kind of a pattern with LeBron James. It's like, LeBron's kryptonite, I feel like, in his career. When you look at his early days in Cleveland, or when he made it to the NBA Finals back in 2007, what team did he go up against? He went up against San Antonio Spurs. And, of course, he gets swept by them. Then a few years later, goes back to the NBA Finals, plays against that Dallas Mavericks team with that Big Three in Miami. They lose that series. That was a really good team as well, though, on paper. And he goes up against the Spurs yet again, back-to-back years in the NBA Finals. Well-coached team. They lose in 2014, but they win 2013, which is good, right? And, of course, they won back-to-back championships. He does that. But then he goes on to face against a juggernaut Golden State Warriors team, all guys drafted by the same team, led by a great coach as well. And they, lose most of those games against the Warriors in the playoffs. Wins one, of course, as you know, in 2016, one of the greatest finals of all time. But once they got Kevin Durant, pretty much over, right? Now, LeBron James, it's like he's going against another juggernaut within the Denver Nuggets. And what I'm trying to really explain, though, is that all the teams that really have beaten LeBron over the years, they're very well coached. Of course, they have a star player on their team, but they all just play team basketball. I'm not saying that LeBron teams don't play team basketball, because, they do. But it's not to the level of these other teams that have actually beaten him. And the crazy part is that all these other teams that have beaten him, they've grown their talent. They've actually developed them, and they have that chemistry. And that's just like this Denver Nuggets team right now, Jokic and Murray. So it's kind of crazy to see how certain teams have the formula or whatnot to beat LeBron, because if it wasn't for teams like the Nuggets or the Warriors, or, just other teams over the years, the Spurs, I think LeBron would have more championships than what he has today. But, hey, you can't really stop the past or history from happening. But that's all I really wanted to discuss in today's video, man. The Lakers, if they want to come back in this series, they're going to have to execute each and every single night. Russell, Reeves, Hachimura, all these guys on the Lakers are going to have to contribute in a big way. Anthony Davis is playing out of his mind. He's playing the best basketball right now. You tell me right now who's the best player on the Lakers. I'm telling you right now, I think it's Anthony Davis. He had a huge game this game as well. LeBron, of course, played very well. But Anthony Davis is the X factor as well. And if these Lakers guys can play great, they have a chance, man. They definitely have a chance. But they need help. They got to contribute and play team basketball to win this series. But that's all I really want to discuss in this video today. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more basketball content each and every single week. Have a great day. Peace.